Welcome to the West Parry Sound District Museum's YouTube channel. Each month, we will talk about a unique artifact from our collection and the history connected to it. Like what you see? Don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. To see more amazing videos, please donate to the West Parry Sound District Museum and check out our website at www.museumontowerhill.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to this month's YouTube video. We are going to be looking at some very unique items that were donated to the museum from the Parry Sound Public Library. So these are actually bound issues of the North Star newspaper. But they're not just any old issues, they're pretty special.
So these were a surprise drop-off at the library. We had someone come in and dropped these 4 folios off with us at the library here. And at the time, we really didn't know what we had. They were left, supposedly they were with a family for some time. And so it was sort of a, here library, here are some very important things. And as it turns out, when we touched base with you guys, they were very, very important things.
When we heard from the library about wanting to donate these folios to the museum, we were very excited. And when they told us the year, we couldn't believe it. The first official newspaper in Parry Sound was actually the Northern Advocate. It was created by Thomas McMurray in 1869, and it only ran for a few issues in Parry Sound before moving to Bracebridge and eventually merging with the Free Grant Gazette. However, Thomas McMurray soon returned to Parry Sound and started the North Star newspaper, which printed its first issue in October of 1874. Thanks to donations from the North Star offices as well as from the Parry Sound Public Library and individuals, we've collected a great deal of this newspaper. We have in microfilm from 1879 to 1971 and paper copies from 1879 to 2005. Now there are a few years missing and issues individually, and some of the earlier years are quite damaged. But we've managed to collect a great deal of these papers. But notably, the earliest issues of the North Star newspaper were missing, and all records seem to indicate that they had been long gone or were severely damaged. Even in 1999, Laura Knight Heidman created the Stargazer, putting together birth, marriage, and death notices from the North Star, and she notes that the earliest years were missing or damaged at the time.
So we actually know very little about the Providence. So whether they were ever part of the library's collection, we're not sure. The library did hold a significant collection of historical local documents, but we're not certain if these were originally part of the library's collection. So they were really only part of the collection very briefly before they went to you, which is obviously exactly where they should be, because we know that the museum will take just perfect care of these beautiful, beautiful folios. And it was really only, again, once we started talking about it and you had mentioned the dates of them and we looked at that we realized that they were the first 4 that had been previously missing. They were never in the library's record digitally that we're aware of, so whether they existed in the collection before the digital catalog or maybe just never at all, and they were just assumed to be library materials. So either way, they're where they need to be now. Yeah. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they're still in such good condition, considering that they weren't in a library or an archive. So they're absolutely beautiful. I love looking at the older advertisements. I love taking a look at the way that the logo changed, the design changed for the North Star. So like this one, it has sort of the glacier and the North Star in the photo, and then you can see like even through the 4 folios like how that evolved over time. And there's some just beautiful advertisements in here with steamship with the Wabano and local stores and prices of things, and it's such an important piece of our history. And really how incredible that when all was assumed lost, even in the North Star historical book that we have from, I think it was from the 90s, these were recorded as lost at that time. So the fact that they've come back to the surface for us to be able to enjoy is really, really just so special. like the whole sort of story, the fact that they've come back into light, and even just looking at them, I mean, it's not just local news. It is local news, but at the same time, it's very much news of the world. So it's not dissimilar to, say, like opening up, you know, like a browser page now on the internet, and like it's showing me what's happening in France and what's happening in Sydney and what's happening in New York, because it was really just a collection of all of the news of the world.
Now, one of my favorite parts about this first issue that we have here is that on the second page we have an article from Thomas McMurray himself, and it details to his readers his hopes and dreams for the Parry Sound North Star. Now that these items have come to the museum, they will be finding their new home in our collection space, which is temperature and humidity controlled, which allows us to ensure the perfect conditions for these items to last for a very long time. In partnership with Metroland Media and newspapers.com, we recently were able to make a huge jump in our digitization project. We were able to digitize our microfilm from 1879 to 1971. As we go forward in the future, we will be working on digitizing these items as well as the gap from 1871 up until present day. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and come back each month for a new look into our collection.